world's most famous tourist attractions, Madame Tussauds. We begin with our usual lit walk round, surrounded by the still figures of the famous. As we begin to acquaint ourselves with these odd surroundings, we wonder, with some trepidation, what shocks and horrors await us.
Okay, Brian, it's very exciting, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? What an attraction this is, isn't it?
It's fantastic. So, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I would just want you to cut away everything that you see.
All these
artifacts, all these
figures of well-known people.
Yeah. Can you tell us if there's anything in this particular area?
A workplace, I feel, was here before,
okay.
Maybe. Some large kind of workplace.
Can you see what sort of work was going on?
Some sort of... would appear to me to be what can I say? Large, warehousey sort of place. Okay, initially. That's my initial feeling, anyway. Lots of heavy work going on. Toting things, I don't know, heavy... I thought about this earlier. Heavy sacks, maybe.
Okay.
Something to ponder on. But that's my initial reaction. Is before this, we definitely had something like that. Something almost like a huge building, almost Gothic type building, maybe.
Okay. You just said that there was a lot of activity here. What sort of activity, and can you tell us if anybody specific is causing any of the activity?
When I say activity, what I really meant was that you asked me what was here before. The activity, I suppose, what I'm talking about there was physical. You know, I can see that it was a large work area.
Right.
So there was that physicality going on.
Right.
There was activity connected with that.
Very noisy, isn't it, Kieran?
It is very noisy.
There's lots of things going on, lots of machinery.
It's going to be something we really have to be careful of later on. Just be aware of all of this noise and not trying to attribute something supernatural to it.
Well, let's move on.
I believe there's certainly an indication, anyway, an initial indication of a man, okay? A man, I would say, in, I don't know, what do I want to say, tall man, tall, slender man, a suited man, tweedy, wearing a hat, trilby, almost like a trilby type hat. Time-wise, I would say 30s, that sort of feel to it.
It sounded like that by the way you described me.
Yeah. Sort of a 30s sort of, figure, if you like. And I felt that as soon as we walked in here.
Okay. Any name with him?
Immediately, I'm going to say Edward.
Okay.
Okay, I'll say Edward. That's to be,
Any surname?
Honest. Could be Brown.
Brown.
Could be Brown.
Could be Brown. Okay, so Edward could be Brown.
Could be Brown.
Okay, and why is he here, do you think?
Died somewhere in the close vicinity.
In the building itself, or?
In part of the building, I would say. And not necessarily, specifically this room or these rooms, but certainly in the near area.
Right.
That's what I feel.
Was it
accident? Was it accident? could have been, could have been an accident. Could have even been in the street outside, very near vicinity, okay? But that's what I'm getting. 30s, an accident, a vehicle. I also feel a couple of children as well for some reason. Just a boy, maybe a boy and a girl. 40s, early 40s.
Okay.
Early 40s. Early 40s.
Can you see what they look like? Can you describe
Early
them?
40s, curly hair, boy, curly hair, darkish, like mousy coloured hair. Girl, once again, curly blonde hair, bit waif-like.
Yeah.
Something about, how could it be? I wonder, could it have been 40 something, wartime?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Blitz,
Yeah.
killed in the Blitz. There's something about that.
So was this
feels
building
very strong.
bombed then in the Blitz?
Certainly I'm feeling that.
So any names with this little girl and this little boy?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to go for this. Henry and Rose.
Henry and Rose. Any surname? Are they brother, sister?
Brother, sister. Hi, yeah. Well, I would say very likely. That's the feeling I have with them.
Surname? No,
No
not
surname.
at the minute.
No, not for a minute. But that's the feeling I get at the moment. I get
And
those
it's just,
two.
and like I say, you get Edward Brown,
Yeah.
who died in a road traffic accident outside of here in the 1940s. You get the two children, Henry and Rose, and they're here. And they're in this whole area along here.
I feel it, yeah.
Okay.
I feel almost the chatter of their voices, didn't they?
Right.
So there's that.
Well, let's move on to a different area.
Brian had earlier taken the opportunity to spend time in the Chamber of Horrors, and it was there he sensed and committed to paper the likeness of a man he felt had strong connections with the location.
I've been down here previously to do a bit of a sketch.
Yeah.
Okay. And I sat over in the corner. Okay. And yes, I did experience something. There was an energy, there was a vision, as far as I'm concerned. Hence the sketch that I'd drawn. This was a larger man altogether. It was a man, larger man. Longish hair. I suppose age-wise. And as a fact, when I drew him, he looked quite old, but I think, thinking about it, it didn't come across to me as old. I think a younger man, but looked older, okay, through the work that he had been engaged in. And once again, I'll revert back to the suggestion, if you like, that as far as I'm concerned, this was very much a workplace at one time.
Okay.
I think he was very much engaged in that work.
And what time period are we talking about with this man?
18th century.
Right. Okay.
And dress-wise, although this would be hard to, pin necessarily to 18th century, but very scruffily dressed, if you like. I mean, the way I've drawn it, almost, what can one say, almost sacking, if you like.
Right.
And maybe sort of a leather apron.
Can you see what sort of work he did?
Yeah, a protective apron, dusty environment.
Okay.
Okay, heavy, dusty work. Something in the air, white, flour, grain.
Okay.
Humping around sacks,
So it's
heavy
some
sacks.
Oh, so that's what's in
grain.
the sacks is grain. That's what we were talking about earlier on.
I drew the man actually grasping, but grasping nothing.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
So I couldn't put my finger at the time upon, what's all that about?
So what activity does he cause here?
Well, I picked up his presence, his activity over here. Very, very strong
When you say
Well,
by here, by
okay,
where?
I was sitting over pretty much where you are now.
Yeah.
Okay, and by this door that, that.
Which door? This one.
This
Sorry,
one
I can't
over
see
here.
This one.
Yeah, there's a hell of an energy there, and what seemed to happen was that must manifest itself, and something glided over. toward the other side of the room, towards the exhibit.
Well, come and stand
Over
here by
here.
this door.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually, it would be quite useful if you did, I don't know how, if you can do any sort of psychometry, but actually touching that door and maybe afterwards touching a similar door which is over there behind Roger.
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, let me just finish to say that, you know, okay, what happened was this, whatever, this presence, this manifestation seemed to appear. Now, yes, there is something significant, I suppose, about this door. I mean, I'm feeling here nothing. But the door is something else. This gives off a real energy. I mean, there is something, this, I would say, is original door. This is a prison door. Well, it's a prison door. You want me to have a look at this door?
What?
This is not a. This is a reproduction. This is not an original door at all.
Okay. But that door is.
That door is genuine.
Okay. Should we bring Leslie in? Leslie, because a lot of information, 19... Oh, go on.
Well, I was just going to say the bell is significant as well, and I don't know about that, but certainly what I hear is, as one walks through the door, that the bell would toll, which would indicate that, you know, there is an execution, that a man is being, you know, sent to his death.
All right. Leslie, a lot of information. Let's start off with the gentleman, 1930s, in a tweed suit, killed in a road traffic accident.
Certainly been seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Right,
been seen before. There's a record of that. We don't know about the road traffic accident, but the description of the man is absolutely right.
Okay. 2 children,
Yes.
Henry and Rose.
We haven't got the names, but we know that a pair of children are seen around, and other children darting, particularly in that sports hall. And what I could also confirm is the building was definitely bombed in the Blitz.
Okay. And what can we say about the building that was here before it's now, you know, known as Madame Tussauds? Was it some sort of mill where people were carrying sacks of grain?
That's the thing that's interested me the most out of everything that's been said. And the reason is because this is not a very well-known bit of information, or certainly it's not something one would necessarily happen on very readily. This was definitely a granary store. He got the sense of where everything was upstairs. He did there, Brian. And then down here, he describes the sack lifting,
Yes.
and this man coarsely dressed. Well, quite often these people did wear literally sacking and the leather apron to stop it rubbing against the skin and for lifting to help them. So I think you happened on the building, of course, that was well before this one, Madame Tussauds, sort of 1850 time, really. And it's well before there. You're getting about 100 years before, and that sounds right. It would be rough. It'll be a rough old job.
And what about this gate over here?
Yes, I'm smiling away, and you're absolutely right. This is not for real. That one is absolutely right. It is the condemned cell of Newgate Prison door. That's the actual door. The provenance of it is right. And the bell that you see, yes, it's significant. That bell is tolled, the right word for it, every time a prisoner was executed.
Ooh, how absolutely
That's the real
horrible.
thing.
It's really, really horrid. You ready to turn all the lights off? This is going to be one
Quite
heck of
something
a
here.
freaky.
You sound as though you're looking forward to that.
No, I'm not at all. Right, come on, let's go.
Our investigation of Madame Tussauds is gaining pace, with Brian vividly bringing to life the spirit of Edward, seemingly trapped in the 1930s, and the shades of Henry and Rose, 2 children he believes died tragically during the Blitz. Would these and the ghostly figure he sketched earlier make further appearances over the course of our continuing investigation of this strange but compelling location?